And a hello to you. Happy Thursday. It is the 25th of February, 2021. Eric Granstrom filling in for Dan Kuntz here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley as we head into the downhill slide towards the weekend. And sliding might be kind of a thematic verb, I guess, if you will, because, we're looking for more snow, believe it or not, in our forecast. You can kind of see the cloud cover here in the Wenatchee Valley this morning, and you look up and you go, gee, that looks like snow clouds. Well, it could be. We'll tell you more about your forecast coming up. Definitely slippery up in the mountains if you're traveling in the passes today. We'll run down the latest pass conditions on the way. Also, we'll, of course, get you up to date on the latest news. We had a couple of, three accidents to report on from yesterday across north central Washington. We'll get you the latest sports. The obscure holiday today will come right at you. Also, we'll introduce you to a couple of our candidates for the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival's Royalty Selection Pageant, which is coming your way Saturday here on the NCW Life Channel. This morning, we will introduce you to Sophia Hernandez. She is candidate number 7 in our list of 10 that we're bringing you here this week on the NCW Life Channel's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Olga Murillo will also stop by a little bit later on this morning in my conversation with them. But before we do anything else, let's start off with a look at what's happening in the valley with our Valley View cameras. And you can see the clouds. You can see it almost looks like fog, but that's a big cloud bank that's sitting over our head. Thanks to Localtel Sky-Fi Wireless Network for providing us our view of the valley this morning. And you know what? I'm also seeing some greening there. We have had some warmer temperatures here during the day. We've had, of course, a lot of moisture. And I don't know, those hills might be greening up already before we even get to the month of March. Good news this morning, anyway, is the calm before the storm, if you will. Really, really high winds expected later today and through the next 36 hours. But for now, things are awfully calm here in the Wenatchee Valley. Good morning, Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. Let's see what's happening on camera 2 this morning as we take a look at our valley view. And I think I just saw a snowflake fly by as we're up in the clouds. Is this Monument? Oh, it's Badger Mountain. Well, you couldn't tell the difference, although I guess I do see a little line of houses, highway. Maybe that's Highway 97 at the distance. But yeah, you can see the snowflakes that are falling up at that elevation here this morning. So we do have snow in the air, some fresh snow falling on Mission Ridge today. Good news for skiers. Bad news for skiers, though, is that high wind warning. We'll get you more on that in just a few moments. Camera 3 will take us to, I'm sure we're probably just all clouded up this morning, and sure enough, that is the case on this one. Where we're looking at here, Megan, is that Lake Chelan or is that the Columbia River? Lake Chelan, okay. Well, this is Lake Chelan. I honestly can't, I think we're up at Butte, at Chelan Butte, looking down at the lake, but with the lower Butte. Okay, with the cloud cover this morning, it's hard to tell. But good morning to Chelan and Manson and Wapato Point. Thanks for watching us here on the NCW Life Channel. Finally, camera 4 this morning will give us a view of, oh, look at that. That's gorgeous. And spilling some water, getting ready for maybe some snow melt and some higher water conditions. That is Rocky Reach Dam below our camera that is up at Olney Gardens. So look off to the north, looking at the dam below. And what is that? Two spill gates anyway that are open this morning, dumping some water and getting in preparation for maybe spring, but also you see a couple of snowflakes falling there. Thanks to, again, Localtel Sky-Fi Wireless Network for providing us our look at our Valley View cameras around north central Washington. As far as the weather forecast is concerned, yeah, you saw the snowflakes there. We do have a chance of rain or snow. Also, a wind advisory kicking in this afternoon and lasting all the way through Friday. Winds today could gust to 41 miles per hour later on this afternoon. 46 are expected high today. So even if we do get some snow showers this morning, it'll warm up and melt whatever we get by the afternoon. Tonight, a chance of rain or snow, also gusty winds. The winds gusting tonight up to 38 miles per hour with a low of 33. Tomorrow we'll see rain or snow until about midday and then partly sunny skies in the afternoon. Northwest winds 18 to 24 tomorrow, gusting to 39 miles per hour, with that wind advisory continuing for this neck of the woods all the way through tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow's high expected around 44 degrees. It'll be a little colder on Friday night with clear skies and lows getting down to 29, and that'll get us ready for the weekend where we'll see dry conditions and sunny conditions, and the good news is calm conditions after all the winds blow over the next 36 hours. Saturday and Sunday looking calm and nice. Sunshine, 46 on Saturday, 49, believe it or not, on Sunday. As we head into next week, maybe a chance of morning rain or snow on Monday, but then partly sunny skies in the afternoon. 46 on Monday, 48 Tuesday, and then 49 Wednesday. There's a sneak peek at kind of the trajectory we'll have next week into the 50s, possibly by the end of next week, as we bid adieu to February and say hello to the month of March. Well, yesterday's high at Wenatchee was 45 degrees officially up at Pangbourne Airport. The overnight low, 34. Didn't get as cold last night because, well, as you see, this cloud cover that moved in kind of cast a thermal blanket over us. The normal for the this time of year, exactly where we are. 45 is the normal for this time of year as far as the high. The nighttime low, normally around 30, so not quite there last night thanks to the thermal blanket. The record high temperature for today was set in 1995 of 62 degrees. Record low was chilly 6 degrees in 1993. Yeah. Typically, January, late January, early February, we see those temperatures get way down in the single digits. So far, so good as far as this year is concerned. Sun rose this morning at 6:48. It'll set tonight at 5:40. Tomorrow morning rises at 6:46 and will set at 5:42, adding 3 to 4 minutes of daylight per day. And you can really see that if you work kind of a normal 9 to 5-ish schedule. You know, it used to be you would be getting up in the dark and coming home in the dark, but now a little daylight in the morning, as you can see, a little daylight in the afternoon, stretching those days out just a little bit more. Currently in the Wenatchee Valley, we're off to, as we mentioned, kind of a warmer start than we've seen the last couple of mornings with overcast skies and 34 degrees. As far as the mountain passes are concerned, yikes, be careful if you need to travel in the higher elevations. There's the picture of Snoqualmie Pass. Yeah, it is slick up there. With the latest report from the DOT, change required on all vehicles on Snoqualmie Pass with 28 degrees, snow and ice on the roadway. Also some gusty winds up there. For the change required for all rigs except for 4x4s. But it might even be a good idea to bring the change if you got the 4x4. Stevens Pass this morning has snow falling, 25 degrees. Traction tires are required on Stevens. That means change required for the big rigs. Boy, that looks like a lot of snowfall right there on that particular camera view and not a lot of traffic up there. And that's because it's pretty dicey. So careful if you're traveling in the higher elevations. Blewett Pass has some light snow this morning. Currently, the roadway's in decent shape, although it looks a little slick right there. Last report said no restrictions, but that looks to me like you might want to have traction tires for Blewett Pass. White Pass also snowing, 25 degrees, and a traction advisory in effect. Again, you can go to the DOT's website to get the latest on the pass conditions. Just search wsdot.wa.gov, and you can look at the passes right there, or else we'll just keep you up to date on that right here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're 8 minutes into the hour on a Thursday as we shake it loose and get ready. We'll give you the latest news coming up. Sports news on the way, our obscure holiday, this day in history, some celebrity birthdays. It's all right here on this Thursday edition. In for Dan, I'm Eric. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
Winco, we do everything. Everything. Everything to save you money. Top quality and no membership fees ever. Winco.
Now in Wenatchee at 1340 North Wenatchee Avenue.
10 minutes after the hour here on a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Overcast skies and 34 degrees. Very slippery and very snowy up in the mountains, so be careful if you're traveling on a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for this 25th of February 2021. I'm Eric Granstrom filling in for Dan Kuntz. Here's your latest local news this morning. A stretch of US 97 at the summit of Blewett Pass was closed for about 2 hours Wednesday afternoon following a head-on collision between two vehicles. The Washington State Patrol reports that a 2005 Dodge Ram pickup truck and trailer driven by 78-year-old Larry Bennett of Union Gap struck the oncoming 2020 GMC Sierra pickup truck driven by 33-year-old Clayton Anderson of East Wenatchee. The collision occurred just north of the Blewett Pass summit shortly after 2 o'clock. Bennett and his 73-year-old wife Kathleen were both injured and taken to Cascade Medical Center for treatment. Neither Clayton nor his 5-year-old passenger were injured. Troopers say the accident occurred because Bennett's vehicle swerved to avoid another accident that happened shortly before and was blocking the road. Bennett's truck struck Anderson's vehicle and both came to rest on the southbound shoulder. Well, 4 people were injured severely in a 2-vehicle crash in Moses Lake last night around 10:20 in the evening. State Patrol reports that 21-year-old Evodio Morales Reyes of Othello was traveling southbound on SR-17 approaching the intersection of Nelson Road and Moses Lake when he struck a vehicle driven by 22-year-old Vitaly Kushel of Moses Lake. Troopers say Kushel was eastbound on Nelson Road trying to make a left-hand turn onto northbound SR-17 when Morales Reyes' Honda Civic struck him in the driver's side door. Morales Reyes was taken by ambulance to Samaritan Hospital, then flown to Sacred Heart Medical Center. A 22-year-old passenger was also injured and taken to Samaritan Hospital. Kuchel and a 20-year-old passenger in his car were also taken to Samaritan and then flown to Sacred Heart. Troopers say the Morales Reyes failed to stop at the red light at the intersection, caused the accident. Both vehicles were totaled. Well, the drivers of both a semi-truck and a pickup truck were hospitalized with minor injuries yesterday morning after the vehicles collided on I-90 west of George. The Washington State Patrol said the unidentified driver of the Ford F-150 has been cited for second-degree negligent driving and driving with a suspended license. Accident happened shortly before 9 o'clock in the morning and partially blocked the westbound lanes for about an hour. Well, the incident rate of new COVID-19 cases in Chelan and Douglas counties has finally dropped below a key level. In the last 14 days, fewer than 200 cases, new cases, have been detected per 100,000 people in the population. That's a yardstick doctors use to measure the prevalence of the coronavirus in a community. Health officials continue to encourage facial masks, social distancing, and hand washing to combat the virus. About 16,000 people in Chelan and Douglas counties have now received both of the necessary shots in their coronavirus vaccinations. That's about 17% of the adult population. Well, with COVID vaccinations in full force across the area, the Washington State Department of Health is warning of COVID-19 vaccine scams that use some using the pandemic to benefit themselves. The Department of Health says there are 3 things to remember. First, you won't be asked for money to speed up your vaccine eligibility. You can't pay to add your name to a list. Second, health officials won't ask for your personal information in order for you to receive the vaccine. And finally, ignore offers for vaccinations, miracle treatments, or cures that you may see on TV or read about on social media. If you suspect COVID-19 health care fraud, report it immediately to the state health department. Well, Chelan Douglas Health Officer Dr. Malcolm Butler and state epidemiologist Dr. Peter Houck talked about their personal experiences with the COVID-19 vaccine during a Zoom call last week with the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center's Kristen Lodge. Both said they experienced some side effects, but said the importance of now being protected from the virus far outweighs any of their temporary discomfort.
And, full disclosure, the vaccine's a little bit bumpy, After my first dose, my arm was pretty sore and my muscles were sore, and I couldn't tell if it was because the gym had just opened and I was hurting. But man, after that second dose, I was laid up for a couple days. It was pretty rough. And at Columbia Valley Community Health, we've had about 50% of the people, we've had the Moderna, about 50% of the people who had the second dose said, man, that was tough. So it's not the same as a flu shot or some other shots where really you're a little achy for a few hours. This is a little bumpy.
Do you have advice for people as they're navigating that, what they can do to help make themselves more comfortable?
Yeah, well, it appears that being well hydrated is important. And certainly if you are caring for an elderly person who is frail, who gets the vaccine, they're going to need help. They're going to need someone checking on them throughout the day, bringing them, tea and chicken soup and the other things we do. Tylenol, acetaminophen, is profoundly effective at taking away these symptoms. So even during my rocky period, I took a couple of Tylenol and I was able to go snowshoeing up the Jacobson's Preserve, and then came back down and the Tylenol wore off and I was feeling not very good again. So really that's what it takes. It's rest and fluids and Tylenol and you'll get through it. And it's 24 to 48 hours.
My own experience after my second dose was a little bit different from Dr. Butler's. I had a sore arm. I had some muscle aches, but I'd also taken a couple of fairly dramatic falls while skiing. So I had a good reason for hurting, just maybe like you went to the gym. And it lasted about 24 hours. The thing that I had that was most noticeable, I was just really tired. On day 2, I was exhausted, but that was gone after all that. And believe me, I'd much rather have had that relatively mild experience than have to worry about getting a disease that's at a reasonable chance of killing me.
Well, right now, the vaccines shown to work against COVID-19 are only available for adults. 8th District Congresswoman Kim Schreier used her time in a Tuesday meeting of the House Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee to ask pharmaceutical executives how soon their vaccines might be tested for safety for kids and pregnant women.
So we are actively studying the vaccine in 12 to 18 population, enrolling the study very quickly and moving into younger populations in the near term.
And any studies of whether Moderna prevents transmissibility?
Oh, yes. We have seen some early data that we presented to the FDA showing a decrease in asymptomatic infections between the first and second dose. The data that will hopefully support that evidence more broadly is evolving and will be a part of our subsequent filings. We don't have any data yet, but we are studying it actively.
We are deep diving into our phase 3 clinical trial results in Ensemble, was just mentioned, to understand what is the impact on asymptomatic disease from our vaccine. We hope to bring forward that after discussions with the FDA.
We are expecting to start pediatric studies in the spring. We believe, as you do, that it's important for us to get data, safety data in particularly about that population. We're looking at our clinical trials now for transmissibility and looking at future studies in that regard, but don't have any data to share today.
I have a little bit of time left, and I thought I would ask about pregnant women because, of course, the studies are later because you want to test it in the general population first. And yet now this is really being left up to pregnant women and their OBGYNs to decide whether to recommend it. My discussions with ACOG suggest that most obstetricians are recommending it because although pregnant women are not at higher risk for contracting it, they are, I believe, 70% more likely to die of COVID. And I was wondering if you could talk about your studies in pregnant women and what you're finding.
We actually initiated a study in pregnant women just last week. So that study is obviously in the early stages of recruiting patients. And again, we want to make sure that that study from an endpoint perspective can demonstrate safety for the mum, safety for the baby, as well as obviously the immunogenicity data that would enable that vaccine potentially to be approved for use in pregnant women. So that study is ongoing and we'll move as quickly as we possibly can.
And anything real life out of Israel?
That's a really good question. We potentially are going to be in a position where we may have real world data for women who became pregnant after being vaccinated. And so that's an additional set of real world data that could potentially complement that formal randomized clinical control trial.
19 minutes past the hour here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Our final story, Chelan County residents can sign up now for a free opportunity to get rid of brush, trees, and limbs up to 8 inches in diameter. Cascadia Conservation District and the State Department of Natural Resources are teaming up to offer the chipping event in May, but reservations must be made by April 15th. For more information or to sign up, follow the link on the cascadiacd.org website. Organizers stress they will not be accepting noxious weeds, sod, leaves, or garbage at this particular event. That's a look at news this morning here at 20 minutes past the hour on a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Of course, we'll have more coming up in the NCW Life newsroom tonight with Grant Olson, who has a little preview.
Thanks and good morning, Eric. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, windy and a little bit wet over the next couple of days, and then a beautiful weekend ahead. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And Eric, you'll be here too with a look at all the day's sports. That and the news headlines of the day coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope you'll join us then. Eric, back to you.
Thank you much, Grant. And you can reach out to us if you have anything breaking in your neighborhood that you need us to know about so we can share with the rest of the viewing public here on the NCW Life channel. You can reach out to us directly on email at news@ncwlife.com. You could reach out through Facebook. Hopefully you'll like us and follow us while you're there. Also, you can find out more information about the NCW Life channel on our website at ncwlife.com. There's the old-fashioned dial us up too at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6869. 6295. Yeah, it's been a while since. See, the phones don't have the little fun on it anymore, so you don't get a chance to look at that too much. So 888-6295, the phone number to call here for the news updates on the NCW Life channel. We'll take a quick break, come back. Sports news on the way next on a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
Join the NCW Life channel for coverage of the Cashmere Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant Saturday, February 27th. The countdown to Coronation begins at 6 with the pageant to follow at 7. Coverage is sponsored by Boswell's Home Furnishings, August Edge Real Estate, and Save Mart. The Cashmere Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant is available only on the NCW Life channel, your local TV station. There are so many possibilities for you to learn local right here at Wenatchee Valley College. Take classes towards a degree or certificate in more than 50 areas of study. Wenatchee Valley College now offers a large variety of virtual classes, including labs, sign language, music, and machining, and they have the resources to help you succeed in virtual classes. So when a college degree is your goal, learn local at Wenatchee Valley College.
22 minutes past the hour, overcast skies, 32 degrees here in downtown Wenatchee. Looking at maybe a little sunshine this afternoon, some clouds and very gusty winds. A wind advisory in effect starting today, lasting all the way through Friday. With your latest sports, I'm Eric Granstrom filling in for Dan Kuntz on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. James Paxton is back in a Mariner uniform this season after spending a couple of years with the Yankees. Unfortunately, one of the first things he and the rest of the players have had to deal with at spring training are the controversial comments by their now departed CEO Kevin Mather. Paxton says he actually thinks that this will help gel the team even quicker.
Obviously, what happened was disappointing, and some of the things said were unacceptable. And I don't think that's who the Mariners are as an organization as a whole. And the players, what we've talked about is we need to make it about each other. Focus on playing for each other, playing hard for each other, and for the fans. And we want to get better. We want to win here. And we're building that culture, and we think that this could really bring us together. And as we prop each other up and kind of just become an even more unified group moving forward.
Paxton went to the Yankees 2 years ago in exchange for Justin Dunn. Now the Canadian is sharing reps with Dunn in a Seattle Mariner uniform. He says there's a lot of young talent in this clubhouse.
It's been great. I'm in a group with Dunn and Gilbert. Been working with those guys a lot. Playing catch with those guys, talking about pitching, talking with Sheffield. Really enjoying the group of guys and getting to know everybody. Still learning all the names, but it's been going really well. I'm excited to work with these guys, and it's been fun so far.
Even though Paxton is just 32 years old and entering his 8th full season in the majors, he's the old guy in the clubhouse for Seattle. He says he thinks there's a chance to build something special here.
From what I've seen, it's a lot of talent, like you said, a lot of raw stuff, with young guys with really good live arms, with hard breaking balls and a lot of velocity. I think that, over this course of this year in spring training, it's all about kind of learning how to use that stuff and being able to put those pitches where you want them, just kind of putting everything together and getting some pitchability with those pitches that are so good.
Paxton says he'll have his first live BP session tomorrow after recovering from back surgery. He says he fully expects to be ready to go by the time the season starts in April. Manager Scott Service says it was great to get back to baseball and get away from the controversy that clouded the start of spring training. The crack of the bat and guys battling for positions, sure to make any manager happy.
Actually, pretty interesting day. Out on the field is fun to see all of our position players and them getting their work in and how they look early on in camp. And I really excited, a lot of the things that we asked guys to focus on in the offseason, they've done. It looked pretty good yesterday. Again, it's a workout. We'll keep building upon it today. Got a lot of stuff going on in the building today. It's a blood work day. We got players lined up. It's crazy. It's typical early spring training stuff. You try to get all the administrative stuff out of the way with our players, but our guys look great. I thought after the couple of the meetings early in the morning, players got into good mode mentally and focused and got a lot out of the day. So we'll move forward today with some more live BPs, and getting our guys lined up, ready to roll. I think highlight for me yesterday was to see the first live at bat that Mitch Haniger had. He got in there and smoked a 97-mile-an-hour fastball left field for a base hit, like he never got bumped off the saddle. He's ready to go, and it was love to see positive results come to guys like that have battled so long through an injury. And the focus right now is keeping him healthy as we go throughout spring training.
Turning to local baseball, the Apple Sox announced that they've added a few games to their 2021 schedule. Apple Sox will host the Highland Bears on July 3rd and Northwest Star Academy on July 16th and 17th. The Sox 2021 schedule now consists of 54 games, 30 of which to be played locally at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Highland Bears come to town on July 3rd. Also marks the return of the fan favorite fireworks night. This will be the third straight season that Highland will visit Wenatchee. Bears hail from just outside of Seattle, play in the Pacific International League. The Northwest Star Academy will return to Wenatchee for the first time since 2018. Their team's made up of players from Oregon and Southwest Washington who are between their senior year of high school and freshman year of college. Well, you certainly don't want to miss our Hockey Night feature game tonight on the NCW Life Channel. It features the Wenatchee Wild and Trail Smoke Eaters from January 25th of last year at the Town Toyota Center. They played all three periods of hockey in a 1-1 tie. It went to a shootout to determine the winner. Art Checker had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
Here's Matt Osadik. He's in, he shoots, and that's over the crossbar and off the glass. Okay, ready to go. Here comes Walters. He's up the middle, he's in, he dinks, and a save made there by Turness. We go to the ninth shooter. And on the near side, it's Siobhan. He shoots, and a pad save made by Chenard. How about Hunter Hastings? Number 17 gets the call. He's a right-hander, he's in. He rips one and he scores! Hunter Hastings, game winner. And the Wild win it 2-1.
Be sure to tune in tonight, 7 o'clock, as the puck will drop to watch the entire game as the Wenatchee Wild take on the Trail Smoke Eaters. In fact, here's a sneak peek at what's coming up on the NCW Life Channel after hockey tonight. Big 9 basketball on Friday as West Valley visits the Wenatchee Panthers. Girls started off at 7, followed by the boys at 8:30. We'll step away from sports Saturday. Celebrate Apple Blossom Festival begins with the documentary A Lot of Fuss About a Parade at 2 o'clock. Then our live coverage from the Numerica Pack begins at 6 with a countdown to Coronation, followed by the Cashmere Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant at 7 o'clock. The Seahawks have re-signed a running back for the upcoming football season. Alex Collins spent most of the 2020 season on the practice squad and was put on the 53-man roster midway through the season. When given the chance to run the ball, he looked pretty good. So the Seahawks signed him to return in 2021. Question now remains about free agents Chris Carson and Carlos Hyde. Seattle's reportedly interested in finding a good tight end on the free agent market. That's a look at sports news at 30 minutes past the hour here for a Thursday. Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll get to our obscure holiday coming up in just a moment. Also coming up here the last half of the program, as we've been doing all week long here on the NCW Life channel, we'll introduce you to 2 more candidates of the top 10 for the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant. That's coming up on Saturday. Today, we will get a chance to meet Sophia Hernandez. She is the daughter of Miguel and Ana Hernandez. Also, Olga Murillo, who is, there's Sophia and there's Olga. Olga Murillo is the daughter of Ismael Murillo and Margarita Rodriguez. The two had a chance earlier last month to sit down with me, and we'll get that interview for you coming up later on this morning here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. All right, so it's Thursday. Are you ready for the weekend? I don't know about you, but I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready for next week. Can I say that? Is that okay if I say that? I know. It just depends on your world, right? It's time for the morning slurp. Here we go. Get your cup, get your mug, get your whatever, get your coffee, get your Joe, get your water, get your pop, and here we go. Morning slurp. All right. Now you're ready. Now you're ready. Here we go. Obscure holiday today is celebrating a pistol. Yes, today's obscure holiday is a blast. The U.S. inventor and industrialist Samuel Colt is generally credited for the invention of the first revolver, a firearm named after its inventor Colt and its revolving cylinder revolver, Colt revolver. On this day, 1836, Colt was granted a U.S. patent for the Colt revolver, which was equipped with a revolving cylinder containing 5 or 6 bullets and an innovative cocking device. Colt was not the first revolver, but it was the first cartridge revolver to be officially adopted by the U.S. Army, kept its monopoly until the single-action system was superseded. But yes, the Colt. We're celebrating Pistol Day today. So if you have a pistol, just, get it out and say, yeah, I've got one. Do you have the original Colt? If you do, that's worth a lot of money. This day in history, it was on this date in 1828 that John Adams, son of President John Quincy Adams, marries his first cousin and inadvertently follows a pattern of keeping marriages within the family. John Adams' grandfather, President John Adams, had married his third cousin, Abigail Smith. Intermarriage skipped a generation with John Quincy Adams, who married a non-relative, but at 25 years old, John Quincy's second eldest son, John, married his first cousin on his mother's side, 22-year-old Mary Catherine Helen, in a private ceremony at the White House. I guess back then, beggars couldn't be choosers as far as finding a wife, so you just grabbed your cousin. All right, on this date in 1964, 22-year-old Cassius Clay shocks the odds makers by dethroning world heavyweight boxing champion Sonny Liston in a 7th-round technical knockout. The dreaded Liston, who had twice demolished former champ Floyd Patterson in one round, was an 8-1 favorite. However, Clay predicted victory, boasting that he would float like a butterfly and sting like a bee and knock out Liston in the 8th round. It didn't even make it to the 8th round.
Seconds remaining in the 6th. The crowd's now cheering the challenger. Let's get over to our champion, Joe Lewis. Joe, looking in towards the champion's corner. He's still standing up. They're going to make him sit down. What do you think is going on in Sonny's mind at this point?
Well, I think Sonny now is beginning to worry now. At least his corners begin to worry now, because I think that they feel now that Clay have all the confidence he needs and go home and defeat Sonny. So I think that the corner now begin to worry a little bit now.
Do you feel as though Sonny being busted up a little bit, puffed up a little bit around the face, will this make a difference in Liston's thinking?
Well, they have to make a difference, because Liston now, I think he don't see too well out both his eyes now, because they're pretty well puffed out. And I think Clay got all the confidence he needs now, so I think that he can't go on winning now.
They might be stopping it. That might be all, ladies and gentlemen. Get up there, Joe. Get up there. Get up in the ring.
Take up the
well, now he's got excuse. His arm was out of place.
There you go. That happened on this date in 1964. Let's also skip ahead to 2004. It was on this date in 2004, Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ movie came out in theaters. The controversial film about the last 44 hours of Jesus of Nazareth's life opened in theaters. Not coincidentally, the day was Ash Wednesday, the start of the Catholic season of Lent. Mount Vernon, Washington's Jim Caviezel played the part of Jesus. Gibson sank millions of his own money into the project and faced ridicule for the movie's extreme violence and gore. Movie took in $612 million worldwide. That's the highest grossing Christian film of all time. All right, celebrating birthdays today on this 25th of February. We go back to 1841. Pierre-Auguste Renoir was born in France, a leading Impressionist painter during the early 20th century. His famous works are Bal du Moulin de la Galette in 1876, and Luncheon of the Boating Party in 1880. Happy birthday to the now passed Renoir. Also born on this date, Bobby Riggs in 1918 was born this date in 1918 in Los Angeles, California. World's #1 for 3 years. He won 3 major tournaments. Of course, he's probably best known for the Battle of the Sexes in his tennis match with Billie Jean King in 1973. He lost, by the way. Also celebrating a birthday today, 1935. She's 85 today, Sally Jesse Raphael. You remember her? Now that makes you feel a little kind of aged, doesn't it? That she's 85 years old today. Sally Jesse Raphael, happy birthday to her. And if you have a birthday, let us know about it by reaching out to us here directly to the NCW Life Channel, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're going to take a quick break, come back, Mike Magnotti with his opinion, and my 2 interviews with our candidates today, Sophia Hernandez and Olga Murillo. It's straight ahead here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
Collins Fashions is looking forward to spring, but we know we still have many cool days ahead. So come help us transition from winter to spring and enjoy great savings on quality jeans, tees, sweaters, jackets, vests, coats, etc., etc. Jackets and coats are now 50% off, and boots, and take an extra 20% off on red tag clothing. Spring fashions are arriving daily, so pop in and see colors and fashions that will freshen your wardrobe. Brighton's spring collection, handbags, and jewelry will definitely delight you. Collins Fashions, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Today, we're doing some employee development with our technicians.
Today, we're going to learn how to give our home a hug.
It's not just a motto, but a unique way that Patriot technicians care for your home.
Oh, no, come on. You really got to get in there and get your arms around it. Give it a good embrace. All right, hey, good job.
I think the training is going really well.
Heating and cooling will give your home a hug.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2. and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, my sister Jean is a retired Methodist minister. I visited with her recently about, just family stuff, and we were discussing modern current issues related to Christianity and the Christian church, and she said something I found interesting. She said she thinks that we are seeing the end of the Christian church. Well, I mentioned this to my church's new associate pastor, and she said she thinks that what we're seeing is the end of the evangelical church. I think this view has merit in view of the evangelical tendencies to combine their faith with patriotism, which is dangerous, the evangelical condemnation of certain sectors of our population, and the way evangelicals seem to be really eager to declare that those they don't like are going to hell, as if they had the authority to do that. And as for the end of the Church of Jesus Christ, well, let's just say we wait and see what God has to say about that. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I do's to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around north central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Alta Cellars Winery is a family-owned boutique winery featuring structured wines from some of the most sought-after vineyards in Washington. Time-honored winemaking techniques blend with New World style to create reds and whites that are captivating. Located in the original firehouse in downtown Manson, the spacious indoor-outdoor setting provides the perfect backdrop to indulge in a sit-down wine experience. You're invited to come enjoy this firsthand at Alta Cellars, now open in Manson.
Chelan Wireless is your Verizon authorized retailer featuring the latest iPhone and Android devices. Personal or business, they have the plan and the customer service you're looking for.
In these challenging times, Bear Foods is open and ready to help. From health to diet to home, we are here to take care of your needs. Bear Foods, the good food store.
From home furnishings to the latest in home entertainment technology, Deepwater Home and Electronics can provide the selection and the connection for your wireless world.
Thanks for watching the NCW Life channel. I'm Eric Grandstrom as we continue with our top 10 candidate interviews for the Apple Blossom Festival's Royalty Selection Pageant. Our coverage is brought to you in part by Boswell's Home Furnishings. Come explore their expansive two-story showroom on Easy Street. Next up, we have Sophia Hernandez, who's the daughter of Miguel and Ana Hernandez. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Sophia Hernandez. I'm a student from Wenatchee High School, and my favorite color is orange.
Orange? Okay, now I don't hear that often. Why orange?
Well, I used to really like the color yellow, and it kind of stood out to me a little bit more when one of my friends from Mariachi, she came up to me and she was like, you know, you remind me of the color yellow, and that kind of just stuck to me. But as time went on, I was like, I feel connected to yellow because, you know, I feel like I can give off that energy, but orange just kind of stuck out to me as a little bit more warmer and little to myself, kind of how I feel.
Okay. Why is mariachi important to you?
I feel like mariachi is incredibly important to me because it's been an outlet to my culture. I feel like I've been kind of disconnected from what, you know, my family, what they grew up in Mexico and El Salvador, and I feel like I've been able to connect to different types of students because of mariachi, and that people connection is really important to me, and I love being able to meet with people and connect with them.
You say in your bio that you work at Old Navy, you work for a fruit packing shed, I assume.
Yes.
Man, that's a lot of hard work. What has that hard work taught you?
So I feel I've learned a lot more about the intense and hard work during those summers that I spend at the fruit packing industry. So as soon as the sun rises, me and my sister drive to those fruit packing sheds and we do the same motion over and again for packing cherries and apricots, and it kind of, you just realize how much these families give for their children, and it's kind of brings me a little bit into the reality of the world, like, it's tough, but it can be rewarding, and I feel like that they are definitely deserve more recognition than they get, and puts me in my place.
Why did you decide to run for Apple Blossom?
So I decided to run for Apple Blossom because my mom mainly encouraged it. She was like, "You're gonna do so great, like you have debate experience, you're super pretty and smart." And I was like, okay, like if my mom believes in me, then, maybe I should have some faith in myself. And I thought it'd be a good way to kind of go out of my comfort zone and, try to represent the Valley.
You've already mentioned your family. You say that they inspire you.
Yeah.
How so?
So my dad's side of the family, they're from El Salvador, and I think it's really inspiring them to see because they started their own food truck business here in Wenatchee and throughout Washington State. And I had the chance to work with them over the summer going into my freshman year, where I was able to see them hard at work during the summer where it's blazing hot in Chelan next to a stove. And it's just so inspiring to see that, like, they came here with nothing, but they made it what they wanted it to be. And it's nice to see that you make your own world.
What's been the most challenging part of this pandemic for you?
The most worrying thing was the financial part of it. Because of the pandemic, I decided to get a part-time job just to relieve some of the weight on my parents, because it was a lot. Me and my sister are about to go into university, and my brother's just starting high school. It's a lot for my parents.
What's the number one thing that adults need to understand about teenagers?
We need to understand, or adults might need to understand, that we're learning and we kind of need to do that at our own pace. Whether, if someone believes that it's wrong, it's like, we'll eventually get there to that point, but it's kind of like we're on our own journey. I think it's important that we are able to live through our own journey without constant, like, you're doing it wrong, or,
Okay. All right. Let you make your mistakes.
Yeah,
and,
we'll learn from it.
You'll come around. For someone who's not from the Wenatchee Valley, what would you say to them is the best thing about the Wenatchee Valley?
I would say the parks are definitely one of the better, and that are around the riverside. If you go at the right time, like right at sunrise or sunset, it's so beautiful. And it's just kind of like a step from, reality.
So it's the night of Pageant. It's all over, and you're queen. Who do you thank?
I think I had to thank my mom first, She's the one that got me into it, and definitely the rest of my family. When they saw me try on my pageant dress, they're like, "Oh, that's so pretty, you look like Cinderella." And I was like, oh, definitely them, because they've been extremely supportive even when I felt a little down and, overwhelmed. And obviously, the committee members and our judges who take the time out of their day to allow us to experience this journey.
That's Sophia Hernandez. She is part of the top 10 candidates, and you will see her along with the rest. On the night of the Cashmere Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant, we'll have our pre-coverage with the countdown to Coronation at 6 o'clock, and of course the pageant live at 7, right here on the NCW Life channel.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue.
Currently, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is open for dine-in and take-out. Owner Justin Hefner and his staff are just as excited as you to get back to their regularly scheduled full menu, music, and poker. So stay tuned. Meanwhile, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is serving a limited menu for lunch and dinner, dine-in or take-out.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Thanks for joining us here on the NCW Life channel as we interview the top 10 candidates and give you a little peek into their world. Our coverage on the NCW Life Channel is brought to you by August Edge Real Estate. Increase your returns with lower listing fees at August Edge. Let me introduce you to our next candidate. It's Olga Murillo. She is the daughter of Ismael Murillo and Margarita Rodriguez. Olga, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, good. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am Olga, as you heard. I currently attend Eastmont High School. I'm a senior there, and I attend Wenatchee Valley College. I'm a Running Start student, and on my free time, I like to swim.
It says in your bio that you're involved with enrichment. You're an enrichment instructor?
Yes.
At the middle school?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is that?
So that's actually my job.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a really great job. I love it. I actually just started in October.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do is we serve high-risk kids. Well, we teach high-risk kids, and serve as their tutors and mentors. And it's really exciting. I just found out about it like in September, and I was just looking for a job because my resume currently consists of swimming, swim instructor, lifeguard, swim instructor, lifeguard, and I was like, let me spice it up a little bit.
Stuff in the water.
Yeah, I was
So,
like, let me
yeah.
spice it up a little bit. And I applied because our Running Start advisor actually told me about it, and I was like, that sounds really fun. So I applied, and they called me back, and I was like, yes, I'll take it.
So you mentioned you're in the pool a lot. What do you get most out of swimming?
I've actually met my best friend through swimming. We met, I want to say, when we were 6 or 7. We were really young, and we were just in the locker room talking, and she comes up to me and she's like, what's your name? I'm like, my name's Olga. I was like, what's yours? She's like, my name is Katya. She's like, you want to come to my sleepover for my birthday party? And I was like, yeah.
Olga, why did you decide to run for Apple Blossom?
I love this community. I've been living here since forever. I was born here, and I have actually had a lot of experience with Apple Blossom just because our swim team has the tradition of hiking up Saddle Rock, then coming down to the Triangle Park and eating those pancakes. And then we actually help with the banners at the Smoke Growers Grand Parade. And it was super fun, and I loved watching all of the floats and stuff. And I was like, wow, can I be a part of that?
You mentioned in your bio that your parents inspire you most.
Yes.
How so?
Both of my parents are the most hardworking people I've ever met. They raised me to the person that I am today, and they raised my older brother and my little sister. And I think they did an amazing job with my brother, and are continuing doing an amazing job with my brother. And my mom is currently a stay-at-home mom, and my dad currently works. And the way that his dedication to his job is just amazing, and the way that my mom looks over us, I aspire to be that as a mother.
Olga, for you, what has been the most challenging thing about this pandemic?
Not being able to interact. As people and as humans, we thrive on social interaction and just communication, and quarantine really got us all in isolation. And when we were finally able to at least go out into the world with our mask, it was kind of hard to communicate with people. I realized that we rely on social interaction so much that we've actually lost some of our communication skills because of it.
What's the number one thing that adults need to understand or know about teenagers?
As teenagers, you don't really think that we go through a lot or that we are busy enough, when school is very much takes a large chunk of our life away. And especially with this pandemic, no social interaction, we definitely struggled a lot with that.
For someone who's not from here, what would you say is the best thing about Wenatchee Valley?
The people. I know that's very the people, but it's definitely the people. I find it truly inspiring how much we support each other, even not knowing each other, how much we support each other and are there for each other, and just know that we have someone.
So it's the night of the 27th, pageant is over, and you're queen.
Oh.
Who do you thank?
My parents, the judges, definitely our chaperones, our advisors, everyone who helped us through this process, but most definitely my parents.
Olga Murillo is one of our top 10 candidates, and she and the rest will do their very best in front of you all coming up on the 27th of February. We'll start with our coverage at 6 o'clock with a little bit of a telethon in our countdown to Coronation, and then the Cashmere Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant starts live at 7 right here on the NCW Life Channel.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Just a few minutes left of the show here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and maybe you feel like the shot behind me. Your head's in the clouds. Let's take a look at the forecast here for the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington for today. Yeah, clouds, maybe some rain, maybe some snow. We've seen it all this morning so far. Also, winds gusting starting this afternoon. We have a wind advisory in effect for the National Weather Service through today, tonight, and into Friday, with the winds gusting today up to 41 miles per hour. 46 the expected high today, 33 the overnight low tonight, with more rain and snow possible. Gusting winds overnight in the 38 mile per hour range. High Friday, about 44 degrees. Maybe some sunshine mixed with the clouds, and again, very windy. Wind steady, northwest 18 to 24. Gusts possible tomorrow, 39 miles per hour. Hopefully it'll just blow itself out by Friday night and then leave us for sunshine and fairly mild conditions over the weekend. Highs 46 on Saturday, 49 Sunday. As we peek into next week, we'll see some sun mixed with the clouds and warming temperatures, maybe into the 50s by a week from today. We're at 32 under overcast skies in downtown Wenatchee. As far as the passes are concerned this morning, latest from the Department of Transportation, be careful if you're driving in the higher elevations. Chains required on all vehicles on Snoqualmie Pass. There you see it. Snow and ice on the roadway, currently snowing, and 28 degrees at the summit there. Stevens Pass has chains required now on all vehicles except all-wheel drive because of poor conditions. Yeah, look at that. Holy cow. Snowing and heavy snow at times. That means poor visibility. Currently 19 degrees at the summit of Snoqualmie Pass with compact snow and ice on the roadway. Blewett Pass also kind of degrading this morning as we continue. A traction advisory in effect with snowfall, snow and ice on the roadway, and 26 degrees. Hey, coming up tomorrow on a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we're going to celebrate something that is a little odd. It's a mountain range that was made into a national park tomorrow, historically speaking. And from the French, it means large breasts. I'm not kidding. That's the actual, so we'll talk about that coming up tomorrow on a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Of course, we'll have the latest from the newsroom and sports, Mike Magnotti with his opinion, and we will introduce you to the final two candidates for the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. That is Cameron Fowler and Kaylin Schmitten, who will join us tomorrow here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. By the way, I wanted to thank our sponsors for helping us bring you the coverage of the interviews we're doing, as well as the pageant coming up on Saturday here on the NCW Life Channel. Harvest Valley Pest Control, Laura Mountain Real Estate, Earthwise Pet, as well as Confluence Health, Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Boswell's Home Furnishings, August Edge Real Estate, and SafeMart. If you ever get the chance to stop in and shop any of those places or see any of those folks that are representatives from those companies, say, hey, I saw on TV that you guys are helping to sponsor to bring us the pageant, so thank you very much. There actually will be some people in the audience at the pageant because of moving into phase 2. There's going to be family of the contestants that will be in the audience, so that's pretty cool. Otherwise, it's limited to right here, right on TV. So be sure and join us for the countdown to Coronation starting at 6 o'clock on Saturday night, and then the Cashmere Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant at 7. We'll be streaming it on our website at ncwlife.com. We'll be streaming it on our Facebook page. The first hour, by the way, because of Apple Blossom Festival, we didn't have one last year, and because there was no fundraiser for the auction, we're going to do a little telethon for that first hour. So giving you a chance to donate and help support something that's been around now, coming up this year, 102 years, and we want to make sure that continues into the future with the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. So thanks to our sponsors, and thank you for supporting our efforts to bring you that here on the NCW Life channel. Have a safe and sane Thursday, gang. Join me again tomorrow morning for a Finally Friday right here on the TV. See you later.